Hi, today I'm going to talk about the care and maintenance of your flute. And as an introduction, I think I'd like to talk about the parts of the flute. And the flute is just like a body. We have the head, it's the head joint. And the head joint has an embouchure plate and an embouchure hole. And this is your embouchure. Next, the flute has the body. And you'll see on the body we have rods and keys. And inside you can see the little wires, which are springs. So this is the body, and lastly we have the foot. This is the foot joint. Some foot joints have 3 keys on them. That's called a B foot. And in that case, you'll have an extra lever, an extra little roller right here. And this is actually a C foot. So it only has 2. So when you're putting your flute together, when you grasp the body, try to grasp it up here at the top or right on the keys. What you don't want to do is grasp it over the rods like this, because these rods can bend. When they bend, you can see the keys will shift over, in which case they're not going to seal over the holes and you're going to have some leaks. The same with the foot joint. You just grab it over the keys, or not on the rods. When you're putting this together, this is of course the thinnest part of the flute. So be very, very careful that you come straight on. Don't come at an angle. When you do come at an angle, this bends and it ceases to be a perfectly round circle. When that happens, you have to take it to the repair shop and they have to put it out into a circle. It never really is the same again. Eventually, if it's done too much, this whole thing can break right off and then you just need to buy a new flute. So be very careful when you're putting the foot joint onto the body. Give it a little twist. Normally the rod is right in the middle of the keys. Placing the head joint, again, grasp the body up here and the head joint goes on the top. The hole, the embouchure hole, should be in line with the keys. Some flutes have a little arrow here that help you line it up, or some little tiny lines. Mine does not. Anyways, that's how you line it up, how you put it together. When you take it apart, same thing goes. When you're cleaning your flute, this is the cleaning rod. I have a wooden cleaning rod, which I think is the best because it doesn't scratch the inside of the flute. The metal ones scratch the inside of the flute. Even a plastic one I think is better than a metal one. You'll notice also that all of them have a little line. Oh, where's my camera? There it is. A little line on them right here. And this line is for you to test the head joint. Now you really only have to do this once. And if it's in the right place when you buy the flute, then it's likely going to stay in the right place. So what you do is just gently put it up in here, and you can look in the hole, and you can see hopefully that the line is right in the middle of the embouchure hole. A little difficult to see with this lighting. And again, that's all you have to do. What is up in here is a cork. The cork seals it from the air escaping this way. So it directs all of the air down into the flute. The cork has to make the seal. If the flute hasn't been played for a long time, or it's stored in a very, very dry area, often the cork will dry out, in which case you'll have to take it in the repair shop. They'll take the cork out, they'll rehydrate it so it'll make the seal. So if you look directly inside the flute like that, you'll see a metal plate. It's just covering the cork. So that's all. This thing is, just make sure it's snug. It's supposed to move the cork, but really, if the cork is where as it should be, then it's very difficult to move it, and you should only let a repairman move it. So when you're cleaning your flute, I suggest a cleaning rag, not too big. This is just a cotton handkerchief. Anything that does not have any sort of frayed edges or anything, don't use a J-cloth. Cotton is best, 100% cotton. Silk also works. If there's little frayed ends, they'll get caught in the springs and in the works of the flute, and they might harm your flute. So just put it through, thread it through there a little bit. Oh, it's covered up like this. I always start cleaning my flute at the foot joint because that's where the least amount of water is. And you just pull it through like that, no problem. Do the same to the body, no problem. When you do the head joint, again, I just fold it over like this. Put it gently up here. You can touch the cork, but don't ram the cork up like that. You'll damage the cork, and again, you'll have to get a new cork. So just like that. If you get fingerprints, a lot of fingerprints on your flute, never use silver polish on your flute. If it's just fingerprints, a little bit of skin oil, you can use methyl hydrate. And methyl hydrate, you can buy it at the hardware store, department store. And what you do, you just need the tiniest little bit. Only buy the smallest bottle you can because it evaporates before you can use it. And you can just, on your cleaning cloth, just a little dab like that. And you can polish like that. Again, be careful with the works that you don't knock the spring off. It usually just takes about a minute to do that. If you're having stiff joints, the joints where the parts go through, you can take a rag and just go around like that. If you do it at the one end, you should do it at the other end too. When you're doing the foot joint, I always hold this key to keep this pad up when you drag, and then just put my finger in and twirl it around like that, and that'll protect the pad. When you're pulling, if you pull a long cloth through there, a lot of friction against the pads, then you'll wear the pads down prematurely. The same goes for the head joint. If it's stiff, you can do that too. And that concludes the care and maintenance of your flute. You shouldn't have to do anything else. And your flute should be good for a long time. Okay, bye now.